What is going on, all you Pokemon collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the PikaPikaPapa, and you all know this is one of my favorite videos every single month. We're going to look at the top 10 cards that exchanged hands the most on TCG Player last month. Now, this is incredible, like macro level, hobby information, and we always walk away with some incredible learnings when we do this video. I am going to argue that this video alone, out of all the ones that we've done up to this point, we have more learnings from this video than all of the other ones put together. It really is incredible stuff. I can't wait to share it with you, but first let me share with you a little bit about the video. So first and foremost, you see the stars that I keep there. Hey, that's going to show us the cards and how long they've been on the set. Then in the bottom left-hand corner, not only do I include the cards and the card prices, but I also want to include the main product that they came from. So like for Silver Tempest cards, I include booster boxes. For Crown Zenith, I include Elite Trainer boxes. And that's because it's important to see not only how the card tracks, but also the main products that it comes out of. So with that being said, listen, we do all kinds of fun stuff like this on the PikaPikaPapa channel. If this is your first time checking us out, hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, drop a comment down below. We have a ton of fun. We're building a great community, and we would love for you to be a part of that. Now, with that out of the way, listen, I always start off with talking about, okay, the cards that are on it are important, but the cards that dropped off are just as important. And look at all of this amazing cardboard that has fallen off the top 10 list from last month to this month. You got these awesome Crown Zenith cards, Secret Rare Pikachu, you got the Mewtwo, then you got base set Charizard, Celebrations Charizard, Brilliant Stars Charizard, Alt Art, you got the Alt Art Gengar, you got the Lugia, which I think was only on there due to the playability of it, and then you got a Black Star promo Charizard. All of these awesome cards fell off the list because people piled in to Scarlet and Violet. Now, I know nobody on the PikaPikaPapa channel did that because we have been talking about playing chess when everybody else plays checkers. We have been talking for months. I did a video 2 months ago why I'm not buying Scarlet and Violet. Now, I classified that by saying, listen, just because I'm not buying it now doesn't mean I'm not eventually going to have booster boxes. It doesn't mean I'm not eventually going to have some of the singles. But we talked about how this product out of the gate, we shouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, right? Because we know, number one, base sets typically don't perform well. We have tons of data. We do tons of data dives on this channel. We knew that. We also know that single prices dropped. But what happened, and you're going to see in this video, is that so many people piled into this. Not only did these singles prices drop, they plummeted more so than any other single prices we've seen in recent memory. So all of the content creators who were talking about Scarlet and Violet is going to be great. Now all of them are talking about Scarlet and Violet prices are plummeting. I get it. Everybody wants to get clicks and views and all that stuff. But on this channel, we have been steadfast in our commitment from the beginning that, hey, we'll buy it eventually, but out of the gate, it is not for us. Now, with that being said, now that we've talked about the things that are off the list, let's talk about the things that are on, and you are going to see some trends throughout this video. Okay, so very first, listen, the Miriam card from the base set, okay, this isn't the special illustration rare. Like, Miriam's a headliner of this, right? Like, it's no surprise in the last two base sets, you know, Alt Art Trainers were the big headliners too, so not surprised to see her here. Matter of fact, when you look at the price drop, like, yes, it's dropped down and to the right, which we expect. This has followed more of a typical curve in my mind. We're going to see some of these cards that absolutely plummet. I think this is a beautiful card. I think it's an attractive price point. I'm still not pulling the trigger yet. I'm going to let Scarlet and Violet go longer. I'm going to wait till Paldea Evolve comes out. I'm going to let this one settle a bit, but eventually this will be in my collection, and I don't mind, I don't disagree with people for buying it, right? Lower left-hand corner, we won't talk about this on every slide because there's a lot of Scarlet and Violet, but you will see that the price for Scarlet and Violet booster boxes has plummeted. You can buy it with shipping for less than $110 on eBay right now. Great for the collector. I feel really bad for the local card shops. I mean, at the end of the day, the MSRP was higher, so I'm sure their wholesale prices was higher, and I feel really bad for all of them. But Pokemon flooded the market with Scarlet and Violet, and we have seen some crazy price drops. So Miriam coming in at number 10 for the most exchanged card on TCG Player. Number 9, Giratina. All right, Crown Zenith. We just talked about prices dropping when sets come out. This Giratina followed that exact same pattern. This is a 3-month price graph down here. It is an absolute beautiful card. You see the 2 gold stars. It's been on here 2 months in a row. Look at it starting to tick up a little bit though, right? Like one of the things we always talk about on this channel is trying to identify like, hey, how long is long? One of the things that we've been saying is Crown Zenith, the final Crown Zenith product is out after this long, prolonged release period where they did set after set and they just kind of dribbled into the market. Listen, the shiny boxes are out. They are done. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be more available in the future. It doesn't mean that there's not tons and tons still available in the market, but no more new products are coming out. This Giratina might finally start to tick up and get back to where it might end up long term. I am really, really, really a big fan of this card, and I love seeing that it's starting to tick up right there. You'll also see on the left-hand side, those are Crown Zenith Elite Trainer boxes, not the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. I had a conversation about this with somebody the other day. If you look at the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes for Crown Zenith, their rate of return, which is a function of price appreciation and time, time is through the freaking roof, right? It's basically doubled in 3 months where you put that into a rate of return calculator, it's gonna be like 400%. It's the highest rate of return out of any product in the Sword and Shield era. Now, big if it never reprints again, if it's never available on the Pokemon Center, that thing is going to be one of the most valuable buy and holds in all of the Sword and Shield era. Mark my word. Not saying it's too early to say it's not going to happen again. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a couple more launches of that product, but I will say this, if it does not, mark my word, it is going to be a great buy and hold. Love this Giratina, love this card coming in at number 9. Number 8, listen, like the Lugia V-Star we saw last month, playability is driving this card, the Forest Seal Stone. I'm not huge into the game. I'm big into the more collecting side of things, so I don't know a ton about this. I've been very transparent from the beginning of this channel. That's just not something that I've been big into, but I do know that rotation plays a major part in these cards coming out. It's something I'm trying to educate myself on, because when we talk about playing chess instead of playing checkers, like one of the ways we do that is by identifying trends like this, and when rotation comes along, seeing if we can jump in there at the right time. You're going to see a couple other cards that have popped due to rotation, but this card has just absolutely gone batty on TCG Player thanks to the game. Now, next one right here, again, the Miraidon, like, drops big in 1 month. It just came out too hot. And even though it came out at like $6, it's all the way down to $3. I mean, when you look at a 1 month price chart, it's dropped almost 50%. That's just a bigger drop than we typically see. It is a beautiful card. I like the artwork on it. I love how, the Miraidon is like coming out of the card at you. I think it is a beautiful card. Unfortunately, it just got nipped in the heels a little bit here. We shall see what happens long term. Is it going to follow like the Giratina? Is it going to take 3 months to drop down and then start nosing back up? We shall see. But right now, this card was the number 7 most exchanged on TCG Player, and I think all of that volume, all of that excitement is what drove this price down, 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 down. Very next one. Here we go. This card is the only card that has been on the list every single month since we started this. We've been doing this for 4 months. The Lugia V alt art from Silver Tempest has been here every single month. What is exciting to me, I've been telling you that this artwork doesn't particularly excite me. Silver Tempest was too new for me to really jump into. Yes, I have some booster boxes. I think they're a great buy. Obviously they are. Look at the graph in the lower left-hand corner. Like, Silver Tempest was a great buy and hold from a booster box perspective. We'll see what it does long term. But what I like about this card is it might be hitting that bottom trend, right? Like we saw the Giratina after 3 months, it started to trend up. Now this Silver Tempest Lugia, the big chase card, you see after 6 months of going down, it's finally starting to hit that little bit of a tail up, and it is still in high demand. Number 6 went from number 1 last month to number 6 this month. Again, I think these numbers are going to be skewed. It'll be interesting to see next month how it all happens, because so many people are buying Scarlet and Violet right now. But hey, listen, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think, and it matters what the market thinks, and the market sure loves this card because people are buying this thing left and right. All right, now we get into number 5. When I pulled this up, I got happy. I really did. Like, we just got talking about Rainbow Rares. I did a whole video on it. I thought it was really cool to see this Umbreon from Evolving Skies, the Rainbow variant, up there in the top 10, like up there at number 5. It's really interesting. Now, this wasn't the one that I picked from the set. I picked the Rayquaza from Evolving Skies for the Rainbow that I wanted to buy into, and simply because I said, listen, Umbreon's number 1, but from that set, the Rayquaza Rainbow Rare is number 2, so I felt like it was flying under the radar and it had some opportunity to grow. But when I saw the Umbreon Rainbow on this list, I thought, man, that is really, really cool. Maybe there was actually something to the video we did not long ago. But again, a Rainbow Rare alternate from the biggest name in the biggest set in the Sword and Shield era. You can do far worse than getting into this. Look at the price appreciation of Evolving Skies booster box in the lower left-hand corner. Absolutely nuts. This is another card. It's exchanging hands a lot. It's on the downward trend, but a lot of times what we see when we do these videos and we do these series is when we see things start to exchange hands a lot and they're on that downward trend, then sometimes they start to pop back up because people realize, hey, it's a popular card. I want to get into it. And that means sometimes you got to pay a little more than you want to. So keep an eye on this. Cool card. Awesome how it ties into some of our previous videos. Excited to see this beautiful piece of cardboard make the top 5. Getting in at number 4 again, the Miraidon, right? This is the alt art, like a very, very cool from Scarlet and Violet. I think this card is awesome, but again, I just think it was on the hype train and it got knocked off the rails. I know that this shows the 1 month price graph at $60. People were paying way, way, way more than that for pre-release cards when it was first into the market. So even with that, I mean, this has dropped a considerable amount, going from $60 to $40.83 in just 1 month. Again, I'm hoping we share this information. We talk about these things all the time on the channel, so we learn, right? Like when Paldea Evolved comes out, everybody's talking about it's going to be short printed. I guarantee you it's not going to be short printed. Now, that doesn't mean that the rollout rollout system won't be different. It doesn't mean that they might not trickle it into the market instead of slamming the market they did with Scarlet and Violet, but I don't think it's going to be short printed at all, just because the local card shops, their distribution is a little bit lower than typically. Again, I think the Pokemon company is probably just learning a lesson from Scarlet and Violet, and they want to trickle it out a little slower. So we shall see what happens. We are certainly going to keep an eye on it. But again, another beautiful piece of cardboard that I just got knocked off by the hype train. Coming in at number 3 is another one. This is an awesome story. I had 4 of these just sitting in my personal collection from Ripping Silver Tempest, and I saw this price start to spike once rotation came out, and I got to sell all 4 of them for like $20 each, which was great. It was a good win for me because it doesn't have a lot of personal value to me. It was a good win for somebody because they got to buy this awesome card for their deck and to play with it. But this is just another Silver Tempest card that has been driven by playability. It is starting to come back down. I think everybody like me, as soon as they saw there was value in this, they launched it. They put everything they could on eBay and TCG Player, and I think everybody who really, really wanted it has already bought it, and now the price is starting to come back down. I don't expect to see this on the list in the future, but good for you, Regilecki, making number 3 for this month, getting a little screen time. Love it, love it, love it. Coming in at number 2 is the Gardevoir Special Illustration Rare. This is a card, this card was exchanging hands for like $100 plus pre-release. You'll see 1 month it was down to $46, now it's down to $36. The pull rates for these, from what everybody says, I haven't ripped any Scarlet and Violet, you know what I mean? I take that back. I did 2 Elite Trainer boxes on this channel for fun, but I haven't done any booster boxes simply because I practice what I preach. If I say I'm not buying anything out of the gate, then guess what? I'm not buying anything out of the gate. I might eventually do it for this channel to share it with you guys, but for my personal collection, for my collecting investing thing, I'm not buying it out of the gate, right? I'm saving that for 151. I'm saving that for Obsidian Flames. Like, I will go all in on that pre-release, but not this set. And, I hear the pull rates are really high for these Special Illustration Rares. I think people were hoping there would be more rarity to it. They'd be a little harder to get their hands on. And again, supply and demand is what drives price. And I think the supply outweighed the demand here. And that's why we've seen the price come back down. This certainly isn't a big name Pokemon, right? Like, this isn't a Charizard. This isn't a Pikachu. It's not a Blastoise. It's not a Venusaur. So I think it was crippled by a couple things. Number 1, not a big name brand recognition. And number 2, tons of it out in the market. If anybody doesn't know what the number 1 card is going to be, then you've been sleeping under a rock. It was no surprise to me. And that is this Miriam card. I think this is absolute fire. I love this card. I love the art. People were paying over $200 for it pre-release. Unfortunately, I don't know if or when it will ever get back up to $200 in the raw form. I think a PSA 10 eventually, will do really well for you. But this card, I love the Pikachu up in the freaking upper right-hand corner in the window. I love that it's such a humanistic picture. She's tripping. The books are flying in the air. I love this card. I think it is super cool. And, I think it's going to hold its value well. We all know that over the last Sun and Moon and over Sword and Shield, out of the base sets, the full art trainers are the most valuable cards in those sets. Those are the number 1 for each one. So I think this will retain its seat at number 1. How high is high? I don't know. We'll just have to see. We'll see how much product comes out. We'll see how strong the demand is long term. We'll see how much people keep sealed. We'll see how much people rip. There's just a lot of things we don't know yet. But I will absolutely have this in my collection. I will buy a couple raw. I will pray to send them in and get some PSA 10s. Still not pulling the trigger, just south of $70, but I think you can do far worse than this card in your collection, and just a really cool card. So excited to see this at number 1. I do expect this to stay on the top 10 list for another month, maybe 2 more, who knows. But anyways, super cool card, super cool cardboard. Love that. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. I hope you guys take a lot away from this. Not just the cards are exchanging hands a lot on TCG Player, but there's always information to learn from these videos. Like all of our videos here on the PikaPikaPaPa channel, they all meld into one. They all play into each other. And that's why I always say, if you've made it to the end and you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit a subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like the content. Drop a comment down below if you have something to say. I respond to all of them personally. I appreciate you all more than you know. And I hope you guys have an epic, epic weekend. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.